Have you ever considered what might happen if a disease more potent than COVID-19 hit the globe? Picture this: a mysterious ailment, unknown yet deadly, sweeping across nations, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. This is the enigma of Disease X. Disease X is not your typical disease. It's a concept, a placeholder for a pathogen yet to be identified, a hypothetical invader that, if not contained, could be the perpetrator of the next global pandemic. It's an unfamiliar enemy, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. It's not a specific disease we can pin down, but an unknown, a representation of any and all potential global epidemic threats. It's a reminder of the myriad mysteries the world of pathogens still holds for us. With the potential to be more lethal than COVID-19, Disease X reminds us of the importance of being prepared for the unknown. What makes Disease X potentially more lethal than COVID-19, you may ask? Well, let's take a closer look. First and foremost, Disease X is a hypothetical entity, a representation of an unknown pathogen that could cause a future epidemic or pandemic. We've never encountered it before, which means the global population would have no immunity to it. Picture a vast, uncharted territory. That's Disease X. It's the unknown pathogen lurking in the shadows, waiting to catch us off guard. Its high transmission rate, potentially surpassing that of COVID-19, means it could spread like wildfire, catching us in its path before we even have time to react. But it's not just the transmission rate that's concerning. The lack of effective treatment options is another factor that could make Disease X more lethal. With COVID-19, we had a starting point, previous knowledge of similar coronaviruses. But Disease X? It's a mystery. It's like trying to solve a puzzle without having all the pieces. This makes the development of therapeutics and vaccines a daunting task. Now let's talk about the impact of Disease X. Its shadow looms large over several aspects of society. The health repercussions are obvious, but there's more. Our economies could be hit hard, with businesses closing and unemployment rates skyrocketing. Our daily routines could be disrupted, with lockdowns and travel restrictions becoming the norm rather than the exception. Imagine the world coming to a standstill, all because of Disease X. Yet all hope is not lost. Researchers worldwide are working tirelessly to predict and prevent Disease X. They're studying patterns, analyzing data, and developing new technologies. They're trying to stay one step ahead of Disease X to shield us from the storm that it could bring. The unpredictability and unknown nature of Disease X makes it a potentially catastrophic threat to humanity. Yet, as we face this looming threat, we must remember that knowledge is power. Our best defense against Disease X is understanding it, and that's what scientists around the world are striving to achieve. So, what could be the possible impact of Disease X if it were to strike? Imagine for a moment a world in the grip of Disease X. The health implications would be significant, with the potential to overwhelm healthcare systems globally. Hospitals could be flooded with patients, while research institutions scramble to understand the disease and develop effective treatments. The sheer scale of the health crisis could be staggering, dwarfing the impact of many diseases we've known thus far. But the implications of Disease X would not be confined to health alone. The economic fallout could be immense. Much like the economic downturn witnessed during the COVID-19 pandemic, businesses could face closures, unemployment rates could soar, and global economies could plunge into recession. The world could find itself in an economic chokehold, necessitating a reevaluation of existing economic models and structures. Societal norms, too, could undergo a seismic shift. As we've seen in recent times, pandemics have a way of reshaping our lives and societies. Remote work and virtual learning could become the norm, while social distancing and mask wearing become a part of our daily routine. The way we interact, work, learn, and even entertain ourselves could be forever changed. So, where does this leave us? The potential impact of Disease X underscores the importance of preparedness and cooperation on a global scale. Just as a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, our global response to Disease X would only be as effective as the least prepared country. It is essential that nations collaborate, share resources, and learn from each other, because in the face of a global health crisis, no country can stand alone. While Disease X remains an unknown threat, it is a stark reminder of the importance of global unity and preparedness in the face of potential health crises.